What is up, team? Welcome back to Headquarters, your Antifa CEO here on this beautiful Monday. I hope that everybody had a nice and subversive weekend. I know that I did. Spent some time on the lives with the fams, Always spending a great time helping with the communities. Dr. Greg and Joey does it over on TikTok. Big shout out. You know, in some ways I did kind of prepare a little bit today, but I don't feel like talking about any of that now, so I'm just going to talk about what I feel like because it's my platform. And I'm feeling really hot right now. I'm feeling very fiery, personally, because I'm not even going to lie to y'all. Just, some things in my life just got me a little hot right now, but I am going to take that energy. I'm going to refocus it right at these MAGA clowns because I feel very exhausted. I feel very tired, but somehow, there's no way that I can just stop right now, especially when there's so much going on to stop us, to wither us down. I feel like just fighting through this is an act of resilience, an act of resistance. And so that's what I'll do. But these MAGA fucking clowns, I'm so sick and tired of these people who cannot read, who for whatever reason just think that it's okay to destroy our lives and then doesn't want to be associated with the horrible people that's doing the things. If you don't want to be associated with bad people, don't vote for fucking felons. Don't vote for criminals and PDFs and all these things. Stop associating yourself with the billionaires. But then I look at the Democratic Party and I look at that whorehouse that the billionaire pimps continue, even now, in the face of this administration, in the face of all of this fascism, billionaires are still funding the opposition. And I ask myself, what are the working class people to do? What are we to do? And I think maybe it's a culmination of things. I don't know. I wasn't intending to get on here and get fiery. I like I said, I had other things that I wanted to talk about. But when you put on the suit, when you push the button, the moment it kind of hits you. And some of the books that I'm listening or reading right now, one of them is called Deaths of Despair, The Future of Capitalism. I'm almost done with that one. And it has just, gosh, man, there's so many things that just, it lays it all out. It tells you exactly what they're doing to us. The data is there. Smart people are coming together and arranging it. They're showing you that they are stealing everything, taking everything. No one wants to be showing up for 12-hour, 16-hour shifts for all these freaking days in a row. Nobody wants to be working through Christmas. It's the prophets, the false prophets, and these damn greedy shareholders. Like when, whew. Let me just take a breath. I didn't want to get on here and just yell all day. But I'm hot and I'm so upset. And you have to focus that on your enemies. That's at least, look, no therapist told me that. That's just something that I feel. Why would I be upset with the people in my life? Why would I be upset, with certain things that are out of my control? What's in my control, at least in this moment, is to let these MAGA clowns know that you are absolutely dumb. I'm sorry, we're not sugarcoating nothing today. If you voted for an insurrectionist, you are an insurrectionist. If you voted for a traitor, you are a traitor. If you voted for a PDF, you are a PDF. Every MAGA clown is exactly like that man, exactly like this demonic administration. We're not sugarcoating anything. If it hurts your feelings, don't associate yourself with those people. It's just that simple. Bad Panda, are you a MAGA clown? I'll ban your ass right now. I'm not doing this shit in my chat. Go play around in another one of these lives. Go play around with your MAGA clown friends. I don't understand why these lunatics who can't even read spend so much time hate watching my material, hate watching other people's material so that they can send us racist slurs and all kinds of things. Go be racist with your comrades. Go in the woods and have your little rallies and wear your little red hats and do all the things. Restricted, harassment, or bullying. I don't even care. We're not even going to be on here long enough, TikTok, to deal with that. I don't even care, harassment or bullying. If MAGA feels harassed or bullied, maybe they should stop brutalizing brown bodies. And every one of them is sitting there saying, I voted for this. I'm getting exactly what I voted for. Well, MAGA, one day, it will happen to you. Because hateful people cannot exist in polite society in that way. It is just that simple. And if that's how you treat poor immigrants, then that is what will be done unto you. And that's not me saying it. That's your boy Jesus Christ said it himself. You didn't read it for whatever reason, but it is what it is. What does MTCSTW stand for, sir? That stands for memes that can save the world. Look, Bad Panda, I'm just banning you now. Illegals, not immigrants. Why don't you go do that shit somewhere else? You're banned. Just like that. You don't have to be here. If you don't agree, just keep swiping. If you are a MAGA clown, just keep swiping. Or I'll ban you. I don't want to deal with this. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. I'm tired of it. I'm so tired. And I'm exhausted. And y'all trying to wear me down, but I tell you what, I don't play that shit. I'm just going to keep fighting. And I think a lot of other people are going to keep fighting, and that's why this energy is the way it is like this. We're going to set the tempo for the whole week. You know, maybe I'll look back at this, I'll be like, damn, I'm not trying to up this all week. Who knows? But I'm hot, and I'm just, what are the working class people to do, you know? What are we to do? We give absolutely everything. Everything that we can give, we are giving it to the billionaires. We are giving it to the shareholders. And then I wake up, I get online, I see that on Facebook, I can't even say the word socialism anymore because the AI is taking it down because that's a dangerous organization, a dangerous whatever. You can't say socialism, you can't say communism, you can't say Antifa. Well, guess what? I just said them all. Take me the fuck down. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick. I'm absolutely. Ooh. Let me step back. Let me step back. I'm telling you. Now, if there has ever been a time to be fiery, now is that time. And I'm trying to keep a little bit bottled. But straight up, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this shit, and I know a lot of fucking people are sick of this shit. Every single day, they are trying to break us down. I can't even say socialism on Facebook anymore, or the AI is taking me down. I don't need your blood money, Mark Zuckerberg. You could take that shit and shove it for all I care. If this gets me taken down, then take it. If I lose it all, I'll get it back tomorrow because you'll see this face, you'll hear this voice, and you'll be playing whack-a-mole for the rest of your billionaire lives. Which we're not going to make any comments on that. But that's how I'm feeling right now. Liquidate the billionaires is peaceful. It is peaceful if the billionaires allow it. But this shit right now, it's got me feeling some type of way. It's got me feeling different. I don't want to feel that. Maybe yelling at the microphone is a little bit of free therapy. Maybe, I'm sorry. Hey, for all the listeners, I'm sorry. Turn the volume down a little bit. But I don't want to feel hate. And I don't want to feel malice. Or I don't want to feel things in me wishing bad things on people. But when they wake up every day and do bad things to us, what else am I supposed to feel? I am trying my damnedest, comrades. I really am. I'm trying my damnedest to be compassionate and empathetic. In this moment, I am trying as hard as I can try. Maybe I should have stepped away. Maybe I should have skipped today. I don't know. But that's not how the content game works. If I have a bad day in content, shit, y'all pin me down for it, run your ads, whatever. I'm going to keep rolling. I don't know. And I'm so confused. And it's not like, this is the thing about it. I'm not like just reading communist stuff all the time. And I know that, you know, you're supposed to be a very well-read communist. But like that book I just talked about, Deaths of Despair, The Future of Capitalism, that is in no way, shape, or form a communist book or anything like that. It's just an intellectual study about the degradation of the working class. But as I'm reading it, I'm just becoming more radicalized because it's like it's so plain. It's so plain. And then just the intersectionality of all these things. I mean, the 3 books that I read this year that really just put it all into context. The Invisible Rulers by Renee DiResta. Private Equity. Bad Company and Private Equity by Megan Greenwell. And then this one now. Deaths of Despair, The Future of Capitalism. That's by Anne something I can't remember off the top of my head. But, all it does is radicalize me. And none of these people are communists. And none of these people are writing theory. And none of these people are trying to say anything bad about capitalism. In fact, most of them, in some ways, believe in capitalism, especially like the idealistic version or whatever. I don't know. But I'm taking my fire. I'm putting it at my enemies. And this is what we're going to do. You wonder what it's like to be the CEO. Let me tell you. I wake up at noon because I'm working night shift. So I wake up, I'll check the news, I'll do whatever, and then I start thinking about what the message is going to be for the day. And, I do, in some ways, kind of do a little bit of preparation, looking at the headlines and whatnot. But, like I said, I got on here, I flipped the button, it all just went away, and I just got angry. And it's not angry at any of you or any of my comrades, because realistically, we're beaten down, we're withered away. Maybe in some ways, it's angry at myself. It's angry at the limitations I have on my time, that I can only spend a few minutes here today with you putting out the message, and then I have to go do that 12er, man. Maybe it's because I'm hungry, because I woke up at such a late time. I only had time to do a shower, do a little bit of chores. I haven't even eaten yet. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm hangry right now, and the billionaires are just catching some strays. I don't know. Maybe it is hangry. Who knows? But what I do know is that on these earnings calls, they brag about our lives becoming less. Our wages stagnant. Their wages have skyrocketed. It is it's no mystery why no one wants to have any children anymore. I know you're not supposed to do math on camera. I know you're not supposed to talk math, but let's just go through some very simple numbers. If there's any MAGA clowns, try to follow along. So right now, for a household of 4 people, you need about $150,000 to be considered the top 25% of the country. That's a comfortable lifestyle. It's supposed to be. But realistically, many of those people are still living paycheck to paycheck. Americans pay about $11,000 to $12,000 in health insurance every year, which doesn't make any sense. We could easily cut that number in half. It wouldn't cost a single job. It costs some shareholders maybe a little bit of profits, but at the end of the day, our healthcare system would be substantially better. That just is what it is. A household of 4, that $150,000 to be considered the top 25%. It is now, you need pretty much $150,000 income to be able to qualify for a mortgage, which means that you need to be in the top 25% of all people in the United States just to own a home. All right? Over that same time period, we have seen CEO pay, shareholder compensation absolutely skyrocket. What else have we seen during that time? We have seen the birth rate plummet. Why? Because people, regardless of if they're getting married or they're not, do not want to have children in a system in which they cannot buy a house, they cannot get a good or meaningful job that provides for that family. And the lack of those jobs, people are sitting here, oh, you go work, you don't want to be on food stamps, blah, 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 all these things. It's such a lack of jobs with dignity that actually provides anything to people, and just the sheer drudgery. And the reason that we have those things is because these billionaires and these corporations, all they do is extract. We don't need to make burgers for McDonald's. If every McDonald's location was a true local location, not some franchise BS pimp model, if every McDonald's was a true restaurant, that would be infinitely better for every single community. Infinitely better, because that means that dollars would be staying in the community. And that's the most important thing, is that in every aspect of our lives, we look and see dollars extracted from our communities in some of the most creative ways possible. Now, if you just so happen to be where all the rich people live, I'm sure you're living a great life. I'm sure it's great over there in your whatevers. I don't even know. I'm so upset. My blood's not even flowing right. I can't even fathom what it's like to be rich right now. But frankly, I don't want to have empathy for those people. I don't even want to think about the luxuries. I just want to, feel the trenches. It's been a while. And even though I'm in the trenches right now working these 12-hour shifts, it's been a while since I felt the hunger in my belly. So maybe that's why I skipped lunch. I will get it after I get off of here. But I want to be close to the trenches right now because I feel like that is keeping me humble and that is helping me remember who I am real, like who I really am. And it's not someone who strives for luxury. It's not someone who strives for riches. I strive in some ways for attention to be heard, but that's not because I think I'm Mr. Right or whatever. It's just because I know that some people can't speak and they've held me up to speak for them. I said it last night on a live, I believe it was Dr. Greg. There's the triangle of why people get on here. It's either money, attention, or dopamine. And the attention and dopamine can be some sort of combo, but I'm not even going to lie to y'all. Right now, as your Antifa CEO, I am here to increase revenue. I'm making long-form content that I'm going to chop up into clips. I cursed out earlier. Turn it down, all right? Turn the volume down. I'm sorry. I cooled off, all right? Don't go to HR. I cooled off. We are increasing revenue. We're making the content. We're focusing, still networking, still figuring out who we can recruit, who we can add. People are actually seeking us out, which is a very nice feeling. I'll talk more about that in a second. The attention. I'm absolutely here for attention. I would not be on the screen if it weren't to not be getting attention. If I were not getting any attention, if I was just seeing absolute zeros in the numbers all the time, I probably wouldn't do it. Not even going to lie to y'all. The dopamine. I've been doing this a long time. The dopamine is not the same. It's still there, but I know how to manage it now. I think that's one of the things that we're seeing with this new class of influencers. Everybody's buying a mic. Everybody's getting on and doing the debate lives and whatnot, and they're getting that dopamine and that monetary gain. But unless they have what they're doing is centered on something real, they're going to fizzle out, and there'll be a new class. And because there's no way to sustain something if you're not doing it for some real reason, especially nowadays where you have to squeeze out just the most bare minimum minutes that can be squeezed. I'm realizing right now, seeing some of these names, I remember some of y'all following me from the weekend over on TikTok. Yeah, Clam Slammer. I remember you following me from the rave. Yeah, I don't do raves are only after hours, buddy. During business hours, during regular hours, your Antifa CEO is working hard to radicalize the masses, to spread working class solidarity, to do all the things. I don't know if people realize that. I'm here for all the business. That's what I like to hear, buddy. See, maybe in this moment, you just recentered me. Because you made me realize that, we were having fun over the weekend. We picked up a few hundred followers. We did very well this weekend, actually. I'm sorry. It was last week. I'm completely tripping. I don't even know what day it is right now. But that was last week. And now that we're on the daily circuit, some of these people are probably seeing me, but the fact that they're still showing up, the fact that they didn't just follow for the music, didn't just follow for the lights, I think that says a lot to the billionaires. It speaks a lot to their character. So huge dubs in the chats for all those people. I couldn't do it without you. It's not even about I couldn't, because what can one man accomplish, When you look at this absolute myth of rugged individualism, this damnation of our species, what can one man accomplish? And that is absolutely nothing. I need millions of comrades. I need tens of millions, billions. I need as many people as wants to listen. I need you. We need to wrap our arms around each other. We got to be strong, because the billionaires, frankly, and MAGA and all these lunatics, they only understand strength. I think that's one of the issues, and that's why I made sure to include no mercy as the fourth core tenet. We have compassion, empathy, solidarity, no mercy. Because when it comes down to it, when we show compassion, when we show empathy, they take that as weakness. No more. No more. That's why now we have to have a default posture with these people, as combative, as bellicose as possible. I just saw a video of some MAGA clown in a big truck. Who would have guessed? He was counter protesting, and he got pepper sprayed at the counter protest. And, you know, he's sitting there snotting and crying, and a woman sitting there like, I'm not giving you this water. You know, you came out here, you thought you was cute. You're going to get on your knees. You're going to beg for this water. You're going to apologize, or you're not getting this water. And that is the same tempo that we must keep at every measure. God, I wish most of these food banks could ask political affiliation, because if you voted for this, you should be living through this, at least for a little while, at least until the midterms, until you can rectify your vote and vote for a nice Democratic congressman. Not that they're going to save the world or anything. Please do not misconstrue me saying that to think that the Democrats are going to solve everything. But until you can rectify your vote, you should be living with this, at least in my humble opinion. But I don't make the rules, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm like 99% I know I'm wrong. And if I were in every real position, of course I wouldn't just hurt people, because I'm not a psychopath, dude. But, you know, when you say things on the mic, I think that's one of the weird lines that we dance, because I very so obviously understand that we don't want to do what MAGA wants to do. And when I say that we're going to treat MAGA the way they treat brown immigrants, we're not. Thank you so much. We're not going to do that, because we're not psychopaths. We're compassionate, empathetic people. But there's no MAGAs here, so don't tell anyone. Do not tell anyone. If I'm saying it, we're doing it. We're playing the game too. But I'm being real with y'all. Moment of vulnerability. I'm not a psychopath. We're not going to be hurting people if we get into office. We're going to be feeding and helping people, because, you know, that's the way to people's hearts. You know, you feed them, you house them. That's the way to their hearts. But like I said, they don't understand that compassion. They take it for weakness right now. And so in these moments, we'll just be strong. We'll keep the posture. You know, we'll adapt when we need to adapt. But I think everyone right now needs to just keep a strong posture, needs to make sure that we're standing it straight in the face, because that's what you do to a bully. We can plot, we can do all the things after the fact, but when it comes down to this bully, we look them square in the eyes, we lock arm in arm, and we let them know what's up, you know? They keep playing around, we go have to step their ass out like it just is what it is, you know? I'm trying to get this across to the folks daily. Yeah, well, if there's anything that I can do to help, you know, I'm trying to put out these messages so that we can have the tools available, not only to win these debates, but, you know, for me, this gives me energy, comrades. I hope that I can give you energy. You know, that's why our branding with the Propaganda Factory is fire, because we understand that we're playing with fire, that fire is what is required right now, and that we're tapping into that inner fire in all of us. We're trying to bring that fire to the surface to keep us warm on these cold, hungry nights, but at the same time to use that energy and focus it at our enemies. I think that's the most important thing. You know, solidarity, focusing that energy on the enemies, being strong in this moment, because we see. I mean, look, I don't know how much time y'all spend talking to MAGAs. When I'm in these spaces especially, these MAGAs defer to strength. You know, they try to steamroll and bully women. It's absolutely disgusting when the way that they try to talk to these women up here. And for whatever reason, when a strong man voice cuts in, they shut up and they sit there like the good little MAGAs they are, because they're little betas and they understand that someone is stronger and I'm obviously going to defer to them. So that's how I treat all of these MAGA clowns now. And you would be quite surprised. If you talk to them that way, they respond, and oftentimes they respect you a little more on the other side of it. It's such a weird thing. I'm not going to yuck anybody's yum. It is what it is. I understand the game I got to play now. I'm going to play it, you know? That's the thing about it. We got to make sure we're reading the rules. I'm always saying that these MAGA clowns can't read. We have to not fall into the same trap. We have to read the rules in which we are playing by. And obviously, these rules have been expanded. We have not flipped to this page. You know, we have not prepared to play in the dark arts of propaganda, of whipping up the masses, of tapping into energy. But thank you for that. But I can tell you, and I'm no master, all right? I'm just a simple chemist. I always say that because I want everyone to understand how I see the world. I see the world in a very analytical, stepwise way. I understand that there is an infinite amount of variables that are interacting with each other, and that, you know, in any given moment, we are only seeing just a snapshot, you know? So when I say that I'm a simple chemist, I want you to understand not only that your boy knows how to do some things, but I'm using some of those same ideas and theories for how I approach accomplishing large tasks. You know, when we look at the liquidation of the billionaires, let's you know, it's a very big goal to turn every mega yacht into a coral reef. How do we get there? We have to break it up in a very stepwise, methodical, every little thing, you know. And we're only on like step 1, maybe 2 right now. I'd say still step 1. But, you know, the plan is there. When the FBI raids me, baby, the plan is there. Good luck to you, Kash Patel. I don't know if you can read, but the plan is there. It's as simple as day. Not only have I wrote it out, it's written out in history. We know exactly how we get this boot off our neck. It doesn't require violence. It doesn't require anything too creative. It really just requires us coming together and saying enough is enough. But it takes tens of millions of people to say that in unison. Only then, the thunder of tens of millions of voices is the only thing that can scare these billionaires. But it will come true. I'm telling you. I've never felt energy like this in my life. Not only the energy that I feel internally, but, you know, look, I don't believe in all the astrology and all those things. Don't, you know, I got room for it. I'm not saying anything about my leftists, if that's your, you know, but I can feel the energy right now, so maybe y'all are right. I can feel it. We can feel it. And we're coming together in a way to make sure that there is no room for failure. As your CEO, I believe that is my prerogative to steer the ship, to make sure that we're hitting all the milestones, and to make sure that we are set up for success. Because failure is not an option. We do not have the luxury to try again. We do not have the luxury of time. The right, the fascists, the billionaires are coalescing around one thing. It is to silence our leftist voices. It is to stamp out the fires of compassion and empathy. And it is to subjugate the working class people to a life of slavery. It's as simple as that. Because in a world in which property, capital, is owned by capitalists, people who have it, I don't have an AI data center. I don't have an AI. I don't have something to go work for me. I have to show up with my body. And when there are more and more jobs that are just absolutely degrading and less jobs that provide for the ability for a family to be created, well, it's very obvious what's happening. When they tie our employment to our health insurance, it's very obvious what's happening. All of these things are coming together to keep us tired, to keep us exhausted, to keep us in a state of discombobulation. Comrades, please, in this moment, take a breath. I'm taking this breath with you. I got on here. I was pissed off. I felt so many emotions just in this brief amount of time. But coming together with you, I now have clarity. I now have resolve. And I wanted to skip, but that would have been the dumbest thing I would have ever done in my life. And even if 20 people hear this today, which I know we do better numbers than that, but only if 20 people hear this today, if no one heard this today, I am still better on the other side. Because, comrades, I felt something in the beginning that I did not want to feel. And now just speaking to you and rationalize with my feelings, I've taken it and I know what to do with it. And the anger, it's not hatred. I think that's a very bad word. It's not hatred that I feel for the billionaires. I think that it's disgust. If we're going to be honest, if we're really going to sift through and put words on what I'm feeling, it's just absolute disgust. Because when I look at people who are in pain, when I look at people who need help, I want to help. So as a billionaire, when you're flying around on your PJ and you're looking down and you're seeing all of this, when you're turning on the news or you're destroying society with your social media company, or you're poisoning the water of this city, or you're doing all these demonic things as a billionaire, as a shareholder, as a CEO, as a C-suite executive, as whatever you are waging war against the working class people, it is nothing but disgust that I can feel for you, because you are doing nothing but hurting and destroying and murdering. Look, the live's almost over. You take it down at this point, we get a restriction. I don't even care. I want to speak plainly. I want to speak frankly. I'm tired of this AI baby goo goo gaga talk. God damn it. It's driving me crazy. And I'm exhausted. But comrades, I look at you. I look at the camera, I'm looking at myself, but I look at you. I see the numbers of viewers. I see the comrades in the chat. I see the followers. I look to you, and you give me the strength that I need, not only to keep going, but to stay centered in the things that I need to be centered in. Because if you were here in the beginning, you saw I'm human. I'm human. And I'm not a perfect man. But you hold me to a higher standard, especially here on the left. We hold ourselves to a higher standard to be a more compassionate and empathetic self, to be better, not better in the sense that we're above, but better in the sense that we carry ourselves differently. You know, all those pro-life Christians who voted for this, I don't know, man. You voted to put Jesus on the cross. That's all I'm saying. If you voted for this, you voted to put Jesus on the cross, and I hope you places warm in hell. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it because I'm feeling some type of way again. Maybe it's not the best time to be alone with my thoughts right now. Got a long drudgery of being alone with my thoughts tonight, but comrades, you're the reason, and you'll always be the reason, and you'll continue to be the reason until we liquidate the billionaire. So with that, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna go get something to eat. I'm hangry. I know I'm hangry. Maybe I'll have a little more compassion after I eat. But MAGA right now, anyone can get it. It's just straight up. Anyone can get it. Y'all have a great day though, people. We didn't do no news. We didn't do no headlines. It's a short pod. Y'all could catch a headline pod from somewhere else. Go to Aaron Parnas. He can go rip some journalists and I can catch it from that. But everybody have a great day. Thank y'all for showing up, especially our new followers. Thanks for everybody that hung out on all the platforms. I appreciate y'all. Stay safe. Stay subversive. Your Antifa CEO is signing off, but still working.